Dzień dobry, to znowu my, to Banda na portalu pobandzie.pl. Dziś, jak Państwo widzicie, gość znów międzynarodowy. Naszym gościem jest zawodnik GKM-u Grudziądz, Michael Jepsen Jensen. Hi Michael, how are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
Also not bad, thanks for asking. Where are you staying now? Are you in Denmark or are you in Poland at the moment?
In Poland.
And where exactly, more or less?
In Poznan. At
In Poznan.
My wife's mom's place.
Okay, so you are connected to Poznan more than we could think.
Yeah.
So, Michael, I also need to congratulate you because we know now that it's official that you are staying in Grudziądz for the next season for 2025, and I think some people are relieved.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah, and you are staying in Grudziądz because you are feeling so well there in the team, or you just like the track, or you just didn't want to change something that was working last year?
No, of course, I'm super happy about the chance I got this season, and because of that as well, of course, I didn't have much to consider, whatever you will say. It was pretty easy to take the decision. It's a long time since we practically made the deal and made a gentleman agreement, and I've been speaking to a few other clubs on these things, and also had, to be honest, actually much better offers. But it's not about that. I need to stabilize. I need to build these fundamental things for the future. And this season, Grudziądz have worked out pretty good for me, and the agreements we have done and these things, everything have been kept, and there haven't been any BS. Sorry. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, sure. But, saying that it was pretty good, it's a little bit of euphemism in this case, because, it was great for you, because it's the first time in the first Polish league that you finished with the average above 2 points, which you never had, ne? Or even in your good times back in the days, 2013 or 14. So it's really a success for you, I think, and we need to emphasize it once again. You're gonna end up in the top 10, so that's why I reckon that before the season you weren't expected that.
No, of course I didn't expect this, but to be honest, my plan was to make a Warsaw deal last year, but Poznan convinced me to give it a go, and the deal there was as well that the guy who wouldn't be in the team would be lended
Loaned.
out or sold or whatever you will call it, and I think I did pretty good, and in some way apparently I didn't race anyways, and it ended up for the better. And to be honest, we even spoke about things like this in the winter, and I hope that this could be possible, but of course I wouldn't have believed it or whatever you will say. And yeah, I try to do everything I possibly can, and this is not just over a winter. This have been over the past many seasons that I've been working for what actually happened this season, and I'm doing my very best to build from this, and I believe I have a lot more to show, and that's what I'm working for.
Mm-hmm. But we need to talk a little bit also about this again, because I don't believe you were way weaker during the pre-season than Ryan Douglas maybe, or maybe Matthias Nielsen. So the deal was already made between you and Poznan during the winter that you'll be probably the one to be loaned away, or you were really weaker at the beginning of the season and that's why they loaned you?
It was the strongest for the practices and even for the first meeting with Rybnik that now went up. So in that way, it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't matter. It's in the past now, and yeah. To be honest, when I did the deal there, as I said before as well, I wanted to be sure that the guy who wouldn't be in the lineup would be loaned out, because I don't believe it's a good situation in a club with an extra rider. And yeah, I told the club that they should believe the riders they had instead of sign me as an extra guy. But of course, it was up to them. As I saw it, then do a deal in a club would be a little bit more motivating to actually start the season and to get into the rhythm of like doing the practices and prepare for the season, where I'm afraid if I wouldn't have done it, then it would have been harder to not to keep the motivation, but to get that flow going, or whatever you say. So that was a part of the reason why I decided to say, okay, I will try to give it a shot anyways. But yeah, then what happened, I still don't fully understand. But as I said, it paid out, or it's not paid out. It turned out to be better, and I believe, yeah, I had a good season. But I believe Poznan is happy for what happened there as well, and they had a pretty decent ride this year as well.
Yeah, sure, sure. I was also talking to the chairman of Poznan, to Jakub Kozaczyk, and he also told me that, yeah, they are happy for you that you are in the first extra league now, and they will not try to to convince you to go back to Poznan now because you belong to the first extra league. So I think there are no bad feelings between you and them after the season,
not
at
at
least.
all. Not at all. We had a good contact. I've been crossing my fingers for them, and Kuba and I have even been in contact. He been wishing me good luck for my meetings, and he been following what I have been doing, and I've been following Poznan. So even though the things for a couple of weeks was a little bit awkward, then we resolved the things. And to be honest, before I did a deal in Grudziądz, I had done a deal in Poznan, and I was back in the team. And to be honest, I should have been writing the week before. I did the first meeting in Lublin. I should have been writing, but luckily it rained off, so I didn't. Because if I would have, then I wouldn't have got this chance. So these things have turned out very good for both sides, I guess.
Yes, there was a bunch of coincidences that made you really, race really good for Grudziądz this season, because this meeting that was cancelled because of the rain was the first thing, but also the injury of Jason Doyle. It was definitely also something that enabled you to ride for Grudziądz this season. So a bunch of coincidences that turned out really well for you, but you've got a small rival in all of this, surprises stuff for this year in Extra League. And you probably know I'm talking about Ben Cook, who also did an impressive debut, let's say, in the first Extra League. And in your opinion, who's gonna be chosen, or who should be chosen as a biggest surprise, biggest positive surprise of this season? You or Ben?
I don't know. That's none of my business, to be honest. I don't know much about Ben's situation. I also had contact to a few other clubs that reached out even before I did the Grudziądz deal. But no, I think he did a very good ride and stuff like this. Me too. I made a comeback that I don't think anybody really believed, and as I can see, people, of course, also been commenting that how I could do this when I couldn't even be on the team in first league and blah 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 blah. All these things, it's quite funny, but yes, this is not important in that way for me. I think Ben did very good. I'm happy about what I achieved, and I'm doing my very best, as I said, to build from this fundamental things that I've been building up this season, and that's the most important for me. Yeah, so of course I want the votes, but yeah, that's not really doing anything on track, to be honest.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'm keeping fingers crossed for you, because for me it's a different category. Ben was a debut Sezon, and he also never rode in Poland, and he never found a place, for example, in Polonia Piła in a third league, because of the money in this case probably, but still he never rode in a Polish league. And you made a comeback on the highest level, let's say, if we can call it a comeback, because like we said at the very beginning of this interview, it's the best season you had in Poland, so it's topping your comeback, let's say. Yeah.
Yeah, but as I said, I've been putting in a lot of work, and I decided in the winter as well that sounds stupid because it's not just now. I've been putting in everything into Speedway, even though I can see there's a lot of comments that I've been busy with everything else. But my life have been Speedway 100% all seasons, and the things haven't been going as planned, and there have been a lot of circumstances to that that unfortunately I cannot really say in the medias and these things, but this has been the first season where I have been able to clear a lot of things. Let's just say behind the scenes. So I have been able to be happy and put in 100%. And I have done that. But as I also said earlier, it's not like over a winter. I've been building for this for many seasons, and I was hoping for a chance to show some of the things. If not, I'm also at the point where I had accepted that, okay, if there keep coming reasons for me not to be able to do this 100%, then I rather want to do something else. And I think that's been good for me to say, okay, if it's not working out, I'm happy with whatever else, because there have been many reasons since lack of results and fights, and I also believe that Toron last time I was there helped me in a good way, and 18 and 19 and Silona Guda was good seasons as well. I had reasons these 2 seasons why I had a period where the things didn't work, and I solved them both seasons, and still managed to do good points. So when I'm looking at it, yeah, people say like 12, 13, 14 was my best seasons. But in my head, actually, 18 or 17 was starting to build for a very good 18 and 19. And the situation with Corona and let's say the family businesses outside Speedway as well was very hard hit by Corona, which of course was hard to steer around because Speedway was very hard hit as well. Also financially, it was not easy and stuff like this. So there have been a lot of unwanted stress, and I was finally in a situation with my wife where we like could draw a line in the sand and say, okay, we're gonna do this, and we will see where it takes us. And of course, we made like, let's just call it a 3-year plan to see if it would work out. And everything happened a little bit faster, which of course I can only be super happy about. But as I said as well, we're trying to build from this, and I fully believe that next year is gonna be as good or even better.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be really amazing for you. And I think you've got a good basis for this also. But you just mentioned your wife. Maybe not everyone knows that you've got a Polish wife. Cornelia is her name. And I was also contacting her to have this interview with you. And she was referring many times to you two as a team. Yeah? That you work as a team, that you've got the division of duties, let's say, in your team. And I would like to ask you a little bit more, because I wasn't asking her. I'll ask you at the source, let's say, what kind of team do you build and what is her role?
No, she is doing all the boring things. Now she is helping me to clear all these things behind the scene, and taking care of some of the organizing, helping me with the payments and making sure that all these things are sorted. She's the one posting things for me and stuff like this, things that I have learned over the past, let's just call it 15 years, which it is, that when the things are going, I'm not good at it because my focus is somewhere else. I am into the bikes, and I like to be around. I'm not messing with the job that my boys are doing, but when there is some issues or something that needs to be fixed or whatever, these things are on my shoulder. I don't have a guy who is taking care of these things, which of course, when the seasons are going, then my head is on that. And one of the things this season have been as well, that I haven't been worrying about all these things behind the scene. She's taking care of all these things, and I've been trusting the mechanics and these things as well. So I have been able to go out and kick ass.
Yeah, this is a kind of a professional approach that I think many riders are learning with the years, because I was talking to Nils Christian Iversen, I think a couple of months ago, and I asked him, because he's almost at the end of his career, Nils, what have you been, or what would you like to have done better in the past if you were 25 again? And he said to me, I would have hired a manager, because I did everything on my own. I was taking care of sponsorships. I was taking care of all of phone calls, of organizing my travels from Denmark to Sweden to Poland and so on. And if I could have changed something in my career, that would be having a manager. So you found this decision, or you made this decision 10 years before Niels, let's say.
No, but of course I had my dad have had a little bit of that role, but not in the same way like Cornelia and I. So it's not like some of these things have been split around, but it's still been my headache in the past. I know that now when I've been telling something to Cornelia, then she takes care of it, and I don't think more about it. And then if there's something missed in the communication, then we argue a little bit about that, and then we move on, and the things are fixed, and we sort it out, and that have been nice. Like, so we also been cutting some of these lines for people that have so the things have been split out to a few extra people in the past, and made some of these things a little bit easier in cases, and of course we also trying to build on the team with other things, and with all these things in mind is that when the things are going, it shouldn't be my headache, because I should be able to put my head where it should be, not about all these things around, let's call it merchandise and sponsors and all these things, which is a huge part of all these things. And to be honest, my job is to race my bike and be there as well for the fans, and on the tracks, of course, be there for the sponsors and some of these things. But it's not my job to take care of all these things. The things should be ready, and then I should be ready to come and do my job.
Of course, this is your job, and you should fully focus on it. Definitely. Summing up the topic of Cornelia, or of your connection to Poland, let's say, I am just after the interview with Patrick Hansen that you might have seen, or probably not, because you maybe not have not understood everything. But I want to ask you about your Polish, Michael. How good is it? Do you understand everything? Can you speak a bit?
Fatalnie.
Fatalnie. And
No,
apart from that?
No, I understand a bit. Of course, I don't think it's just as a speedway rider you learn all the bad words first. I think that's in general. When new people are coming, doesn't matter if it's Poland or Denmark or England or whatever, you learn all the bad words. So all these ones, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But of course I can order a little bit of food if I have to, and some of these things. And I also do understand most of the time where we at conversation wise and stuff like this. But I need to concentrate, and I really need to listen. But if I'm in an airport, for example, I can also hear if it's Polish or Russian or whatever it is. Many times I can put Polish to the side, also over Czech, and so something I've been listening so much to Polish that something in my head is still registering when people are speaking Polish. Doesn't matter where I'm at, or if we're in Denmark or whatever. Then so there must be some kind of understanding towards the things. But no, I'm told that I speak very well. So even if I like read out from a book or something like this, I think you would understand, but I will not understand what I'm saying. So my understanding of the letters, because I had as well, that's probably 10 years ago, maybe even more. I had a few Polish classes back in Denmark because I got Polish family as well, not just my wife's side, but my dad's younger brother is living in Warsaw with his Polish wife, and my dad's older brother had a Polish wife as well back in Denmark. So there have been a little bit of Polish around the family, and yeah, because of that as well, I did these classes. So I think because of that, I understand the L with the slash in, like woo and these things, So because of that, it's a bit easier to know how to spell the things or whatever you say. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I get it. So kind of interesting, no? That Polish women are so popular among the Danes, no? But yeah, maybe you got a recommendation from your uncles before, no? That used to or still have the Polish wives.
Or maybe they told me to run away.
No, probably not, no, because you are still with Cornelia. Yeah, cool. So nice to know it also, Michael. So maybe ending up a little bit and moving into the next season that you are looking forward to. For the Grudziądz, definitely your plan would be to go as strong and as fast as this season, or maybe even faster, but you will definitely have some individual plans for you.
Yeah, because of the result I did for the Danish final, practically giving away the championship to Anders in the last heat. But because of that second place, it's the first time that they changed. So the Danish final is also where we qualify from for next year's GP and SEC qualifications. So because of that, I'm in a good position, and I know that I'm in both qualifiers for next year. So of course my plan is to race the qualifications and take it as far as I can. I believe I have a chance, and if everything is going well, I don't see why I shouldn't be able to even be back in the GP. It's many years since I've been there, and for sure when I was in last time and I had the chance, like for a big part in 14, I was in full time in 15 and a little bit in 16. But these years, I didn't have very good circumstances, but I still did okay. And I believe if the circumstances are gonna be better, that would help me to be able to make even better results. And as I said, that's some of the things we are building from, not only league-wise. So yeah, I proved to myself at least that my things are not too bad. And yeah, I believe I can get back.
Cool. So it's a good approach. I think the sky is the limit, and yeah, many people will be keeping their fingers crossed to see you in the GP again, or at least in SEC, maybe. Yeah, just maybe to finish off our conversation also with a kind of a private stuff. I know that it's October now, and you Speedway riders, you are always planning some kind of vacation during this season, like November, December, because later on you gotta prepare for the next season. And I wanted to ask you if you prepared or planned something special for this holiday.
No, that's not my job either. That's Cornelia's job. We went to Thailand a few years ago, and I said that I just want the clear water and sun. We got to Thailand, and it was pissing down, and there was a thunderstorm. So the first few days it was raining and it was bad weather, and then because of that, then the water was not clear. So I said I had two things that I wanted for this. Where is it? It got there, but no, to be honest, where we go and these things is not super important for me. The holidays are probably more important for Cornelia, but I learned on that trip we did a couple of years back that this is something I would like to do as well. And it's been our plan because we didn't manage to do anything last winter. So it's been our plan for the whole season to prioritize to do something. But I want to prepare all my things for next season before Christmas. And I'm working very hard on that now. As you also know, I should have been by your place so we could do this live or together instead of online. But there have been a lot of things going on in all the planning, and that's because I'm trying to organize everything. So hopefully January I can be gone and I don't need to think about something missing back home. And then we have some family things and these things as well in February, and some trips and maybe also some camps with the clubs and these things, you know. So then I know I can do these things fully when we get to January, February, and my things will be ready and prepared for the season. So I just want to get these things behind me so I can actually relax and get ready for the season. January, February with a calm mind and shoulders down and get ready and all these things for hopefully an awesome season.
So it sounds like a nice plan for a winter. Maybe not everything is already set in stone, but many things already planned, and you've got definitely something to look forward for the winter, but also for the spring with Grudziądz and also individually. Michael, thank you very much for finding time. Even though we didn't manage to do it on site, I'll probably try to get you anyway during the winter. Maybe we'll find some space also in your timetable to speak face to face. I always give my guests opportunity to speak something freely at the end. So maybe you would like to greet someone, maybe you would like to say something. It's your time now.
No, in that case, then I will just say thank you to some of these people that have been here through hard times. I've had some great sponsors and also the from Slang Group in Denmark, from Eskilstuna in Sweden have been super supportive as well. And most important, of course, Cornelia have been a big support. My family and her family have been backing as well. And at the end, of course, I will say a huge thank you to Grudziądz, but practically also to Poznan for the cooperation we had this season and for helping me through these things. I've been super happy about the support and the welcome that I got in Grudziądz, and it seems like people are very happy about me staying as well, and they've been pushing a lot for them to take that decision. But I think I also posted and said on my post that it's a deal we did a long time ago. So I'm just super happy to announce it. Next to that, I don't think there's a lot of different things. I want to wish everybody like a good winter, and I hope everybody will be as ready for the season as I will.
We'll try to be as ready as you will be. Maybe not everyone will manage, but also thank you very much for finding time, Michael. I'm gonna do the ending in Polish, if you don't mind.
No.
To był kolejny odcinek programu La Banda na portalu pobandzie.com.pl. Ja nazywam się Krzysiek Sałaga, a dziś moim gościem był zawodnik GKM-u Grudziądz, Michael Jepsen Jensen. Thank you, Michael.
Dzięki. Do widzenia.
Dzięki, do zobaczenia.